Hello everyone and welcome back yet again to another daily update video. My name is CryptoStash and I hope you're having an amazing weekend. Currently it is Sunday and let's get right to the charts as Bitcoin is still holding the Fibonacci Golden Pocket at 94,000. As you can see, after getting a bounce from right here the other day, I think it was on Friday, we hit this target exactly. I have been talking about this target since we were in this range right here after the crash on the 10th of October. The whole time that we were ranging right here, I was talking about a potential move towards this macro support, which would be, you can see we have it measured from the bottom right here, the low from the tariffs during April. You can see basically if we draw our FIB level from there to the all-time high that we made right here, you can see Bitcoin perfectly bounced from this level. Now, does this mean we are actually bottoming out right here and resuming the rally to the upside for another potential all-time high test? Not quite yet. What I mean by this is if we move on the weekly time frame, you can see on the weekly Bitcoin has actually fallen below the 50 weekly moving average, which has the last 3 times held us up, basically what I like to call a bull market support. You can see this has been the bull market support for 3 times in a row. If we actually measure it right here from the beginning, we did test the 50 weekly moving average another 2 times. One time was basically back here in 2023 when the bull market actually started. Then we did test it another time right here at the 9th of October, basically Q4 of 2023, and then we had that first big move to the upside, basically towards $73,000. Then we entered this summer chop range right here last year in 2024, where we did test the 50 weekly EMA 2 times right here, as you can see, one time in September and one time during August, the flash crash towards 49k, and then we had that nice rally towards 109, basically our previous all-time high. Then we had that correction down once again to the 50 weekly moving average. We dropped down towards 74k. This was basically the tariff news crash, and then after this we pumped towards our current all-time high, which is 126,000. And right now the important thing is that Bitcoin is actually losing this 50 weekly moving average, and if we close, we do have like around 11 hours, you can see right here, before the weekly candle closes. If the bulls manage to push the candle above the 50 weekly moving average, then potentially we are going to be testing this level once again, or we might start ranging below. So this would mean we will be creating a newer range for price to be moving. Or if we close below this right here, I would be expecting a breakdown and potential test of the 0786 Fibonacci level, which would also be perfectly aligning with the 100 weekly moving average, which we have not hit since 2023. You can see basically this level has been remained untouched, and if we lose this level, basically the max pain scenario, in my opinion, for this move to the downside would be right around here, down at the 200 weekly moving average, which is sitting for right now at $67,000. This would be actually a complete bear market move of around $58,000 in a price change, or 46% correction. And if this move happens, I would be completely for sure, not 100%, but always 99% sure that potentially we are going to be bottoming out right here and then resuming this bull market, since if you know, this will take potentially some time to play out if it happens, and then the 1 year bear market would potentially be over if we are actually starting one. But this will be very, very interesting how we close this weekly candle. If we close below it, then this 50 weekly EMA would start acting as resistance, and of course this would be a very strong resistance for Bitcoin to break. We might go up and try to break above it, but potentially, in my opinion, we are going to be seeing price reject from this and then head down lower. Now this would be enough for Bitcoin. Let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum also right now, you can see, testing this bottom that we made right here after falling from the most important resistance support level, which would be our 4-yearly trend line. You can see once we lost this support, I told you we are going to be dropping further down, and for right now, if we measure, you can see I have the Fibonacci golden pocket drawn from the bottom that we made right here during April to the all-time high, and the 0618 Fibonacci would be sitting at this previous range right here that we had during the summer, basically in Q3 this year. As you can see, this is also where right now the weekly S3 is sitting. That would be around $2,600 for a potential Ethereum bottom. I would be expecting a drop towards here if Bitcoin continues to go lower, of course. As you know, it all depends on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin moves lower, the other cryptocurrencies will follow it. Solana, you can see right now, basically, I think if we pull out a Fibonacci for Solana, Solana is actually below the golden pocket, but if we draw it to the all-time high, Solana is currently bouncing from the deeper levels right here. You can see that would be the 0786, $138, and if we lose this, the deepest level would be the value area low and the 0886, which would be $118 for Solana, which would potentially either be a bottom and a continuation, or if we lose this level, then we might revisit some bear market territory for Solana, which would be a very insane, in my opinion, if we see Solana back at like below $50, so to say. Hype right now, one of the only coins that is remaining kind of strong. You can see right here we are below the weekly pivot, but overall on the bigger picture, the daily and the weekly are looking kind of alright, still in this range above right here. Basically this would be considered a range, and we are right now still stuck on a higher time frame range. Of course, we would wanna see somewhat of breakthrough towards the all-time high and this trend line right here in order for us to say hype will continue higher. Sui right now still going lower, absolutely not looking good at all. Sui was before one of my go-to coins, but as you can see, after this major liquidation that we had right here, Sui could not even have a nice move to the upside, unlike Ethereum and Solana. It has been just straight up dropping, as you can see. XRP also right now remaining below the weekly pivot. We are going to be getting new weekly pivots in about 11 hours once Monday comes. The pump token also rejecting, looking very, very bad. And we do have the semi markets opening in about 11 hours also. They would potentially be opening up bullish, in my opinion, since we did bounce from the 50 daily moving average actually on the S&P 500 and on the Nasdaq last week. So potentially we might see somewhat of a rally before another move to the downside. If we look at the open interest for Bitcoin, you can see for the weekend open interest is flat, CVD is also flat, not much going on right now. The liquidation heat map is showing us liquidity potentially all the way up to 99k. So I would be expecting another push potentially towards the upside. The Bitcoin bulls will try, of course, to reclaim their levels. Fear and Greed Index into extreme fear for the first time since April 2025, basically, which is very insane in my opinion, since we are right now trading in extreme fear and Bitcoin is trading at $95,000. The ETFs, we already talked about this. Last week was also not looking good. We will see what next week brings us. The long versus shorts ratio, we do have more sellers in the market as of right now. Funding rates still remaining positive on the major exchanges. And for the outlook for the next week, we do have FOMC on Wednesday. We also do have unemployment rates on Thursday and PMI on Friday. So it is going to be a very, very important week, and we might get some very strong volatility for the markets. And I think this covers it for today, guys. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye.